Okay, so we finished our donuts. I baked them at 425 for 7 to 9 minutes, and they're ready to be decorated now. I wanted to show you guys what the donuts will look like. So this is what they look like when they come out of the pan. So this is the top, this is the bottom, golden brown, beautiful, and they're just cake-like. But they're not that big. So these are small enough that you could do these as party favors. You can have these as like little dessert bars. So you can set up a whole donut bar if you wanted to. But I wanted to show you, like, they're not all that big. They're only about, I'd say, 3 inches in diameter, 3 inches across. So they're not huge. So that's the good and the bad thing. The good thing is that you can eat a whole bunch, and the bad thing is that you can eat a whole bunch. And size matters. So I wanted you guys to see what size our donuts are before we get started to decorate them. But I have all kinds of really good decorating ideas for you. So first off, I'm going to show you guys how to decorate them with some chocolate ganache. So what I have here is this beautiful, creamy chocolate ganache. So good. And all you do to make chocolate ganache is heat up some heavy cream, some whipping cream or some heavy cream. Heat that up until it's just below boiling. And then you're going to add in some chocolate chips or some semi-sweet chocolate bar, like baking bar, and you melt that into your heavy cream. And it's about a 1-to-1 ratio, but if you want to get it a little bit thicker, then use maybe 4 ounces of heavy cream to 6 ounces of chocolate chips. So that way you have a little more chocolate chips than you do heavy cream, and that way you get a little bit thicker ganache. And you can also add a little bit of corn syrup to it to give it a little extra body, but I did not add corn syrup to this. This is just the heavy cream and the chocolate chips that have been melted together, and then you let it cool. And this has been refrigerated, so it has that nice thick creamy texture. So the first decorating idea I have is to use this beautiful chocolate ganache. And we're just going to spread it over our donut. So I'm just going to spoon this over this donut. So nice. Oh yeah. Get that ganache goodness in there. And I've put this on a rack. Put this on a cooling rack over a pan that's got wax paper underneath. So I'm trying not to make a mess, but no guarantees. So I'm going to put the chocolate ganache on top here. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look how pretty. Oh, so yummy. I just want to like eat it just like that. So, I mean, you can just leave them plain, like plain chocolate ganache if you want to. Just like Homer Simpson, you know, donuts. Or what you can do is put some sprinkles. I have these really pretty like multicolored sprinkles here. Sometimes they're called jimmies if you want to get technical. So I'm going to take these little sprinkles and just sprinkle them all over the top of my donut. And that's kind of just a more basic idea that you can do, but it's so cute. It'd be perfect for a kid's birthday or any kind of little get-together. So you have a pretty little chocolate sprinkled donut. Gorgeous. The other thing that we can do with the chocolate, so I'm going to do a couple more chocolate ideas for you. So one other thing that you can do with the chocolate that I really, really like, besides just spreading it all over the place and eating it immediately, which is never, ever a bad idea. So I'm going to do a couple more chocolate donuts and show you guys just kind of what you can do with the chocolate. And this would be perfect if you wanted to do a chocolate donut batter, and then you could do the chocolate on top, so it would be extra chocolatey. You could always do that. That's an awesome idea as well. But as far as the chocolate goes, I thought you could do some coconut. So I have some sweetened flake coconut here that I'm going to put on top of my donuts. And so it makes it like an almond joy. Or I guess more of a mounds because you don't have nuts, right? You could also put nuts on it if you want to, though. So I'm just going to spread all this coconut on here, and it's going to look so good. Oh. And these would be really cute at Christmas because you have all this pretty sweetened flake coconut that looks like snow. So you have this gorgeous little chocolate coconut donut. I'm losing my coconut over here. All right, so we have that. And then for our other chocolate donut, I had this really good idea to make it like a s'mores donut. So you have your cake donut, and then that's going to be your base. You have the chocolate on top, and then I crumbled up some graham crackers. So just got some graham crackers, put a few of them in a bag, and just kind of crushed them up with a rolling pin or whatever you want to do. So I've got some graham cracker crumbles, and then I have these little, what are called mallow bits, and these are like the little marshmallows that you put on top of your hot cocoa. So you can do these, or you could just do mini marshmallows if you wanted to. Either way, it just depends on when you're going to serve it, or what your preference is. But these are really cute, and they're a little smaller and a little crunchier. So what you're going to do is just take your graham cracker crumbles, just crumble those and spread those all over. Looks so good. And then you're just going to take some of your marshmallows. I like to pour them out in the cap. And then just put some little mini marshmallows all over your donut as well. And it makes it like a s'more. There we go. Oh man, that looks so good. And then you have a s'mores donut. Yum! So those are some ideas that you can use with your chocolate ganache. If you don't have chocolate ganache, you can also just use any sort of a chocolate glaze or a chocolate sundae topping like you would put on ice cream. That works just as well. So those are some of the chocolate ideas that I had. Then I have a couple more ideas for you as far as decorating goes. One of the ideas that I thought would be really good would be do a cookies and cream donut. So what I have is just some glaze that I've made up. And this glaze, all it is just powdered sugar and a little bit of either milk or heavy cream or half and half. You can even use water if you don't have any kind of dairy. So this is just some glaze that I made up. You can also, if you want to make it super fancy to do your glaze, you can use powdered sugar and a flavored coffee creamer. So I have this flavored coffee creamer here that I could put in, and so this is like almond joy flavor, so it would give that almond joy flavor to your glaze, and then you can add your toppings on top of that. So this would be awesome if you wanted to do a glaze out of this and then put your coconut on top like we did with the chocolate. That would be amazing as well. So the other idea that I had was just to do this glaze. You put it on top of your donut, spread all that around. Looks so good. Everybody loves glazed donuts, right? Just put your glaze on there. Get a pretty good amount. And then I've got some Oreo cookies that I've crushed up in this bag here. So I've just crushed them up. I've taken the filling out of the middle and crushed up the Oreos. And then you're just going to take your crumbled Oreos and sprinkle those on top of your donut and make it like cookies and cream. So then you have a cookies and cream donut. So, ta-da, cookies and cream. Yum! So that's a cookies and cream donut. Sorry, my hands are getting dirty, so I gotta wipe my hands off here. And then the other two ideas that I had, number one was to do a caramel pecan, so you have like a turtle donut. And so all I've got here is just some caramel sundae topping. And I'm just gonna drizzle that over my donut. Oh yeah. Drizzle that right on there, baby. Ooh. Caramel. And guys, I have to tell you, I love all of you. And of course I want you to watch my videos, but it's caramel, not caramel. There's an A in there for a reason, guys. Say it right. You gotta do that for me. And then after you take your caramel, you take some pecans. And these are just pecan pieces in halves that I got at the grocery store. And you can break them up a little bit smaller if you want to, if you want smaller pieces. Or if you want larger pieces, you could even put just whole pecans around there if you wanted to. And then you just sprinkle that on top of your caramel. And that caramel is going to soak down into your donut. So you put some pecans on there. And then just for good measure, let's just put some more caramel on top of these little babies. This would also be really good with the caramel dip that you use for fruit as well. It's a little thicker, so if you like a little thicker caramel, you could do that as well. So then you have a little turtle donut that you can eat. So good, that looks awesome. And then we're gonna do, so that's if you're a caramel pecan person, and then I had this idea to do a peanut butter and jelly donut. Everybody loves a jelly donut, but what if we did a peanut butter and jelly donut? So what I've done is I've taken some creamy peanut butter and I put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds or so, and I let it cool so that it thinned out a little bit. And so I have this thinned out creamy peanut butter. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that on top of my donut. Spread that around on my donut. You can see it spreads a little bit easier than your typical, your thicker. So you spread that around, and then you take whatever flavor of jelly, jam, preserves. I've got some strawberry preserves here that I'm going to use, and just dollop that on top of your donut. So you have a jelly donut, but it's peanut butter and jelly donut. And that looks so good. And I mean, it's technically healthy too, right? It's a PB&J. So then you have your PB&J donut. Awesome. And then last but not least, if you're really more of a donut purist and you don't want to like a whole lot of fancy things on your donut, you can also just put some powdered sugar, or you can just put some cinnamon sugar on here. This is just granulated sugar mixed with some cinnamon. You shake it up and you can just sprinkle it on top of your donut. Put a little bit of glaze on there if you want to. So you want to put some glaze on your donut. Got some glaze here. Just a thin layer of glaze, or however thick you want it. And then you can just sprinkle some cinnamon sugar on top of there. And it still looks beautiful. And you can also do this as soon as your donuts come out of the oven. You can sprinkle them with cinnamon sugar, or you can sprinkle them with some cinnamon and add some cinnamon to your basic dough. So those are just some decorating ideas that I had for our donuts. So you can see they all look absolutely gorgeous over here. I love these. They're going to be so good. And I might eat all of them. I might eat all of them today. So if you see me and I weigh 500 pounds in my next video, you'll know why, because I've been eating donuts. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little tutorial that I've put together. If you have questions, please leave me a comment, and enjoy your donuts. Happy donut making.